Good evening. It's Tuesday night, the 17th of November already, and day 321 of my journey to business alignment, and I'm still living the dream. I truly am grateful for my dream because it's coming to the portal of my mind, and as I consider what I want to do to bring Kathleen home from work, which is part of that dream, I get so excited. And there's lots of other pieces to my vision, which are all the goals that I see happening in my life as though it's already here. And that's what vision and going to the movies is all about. I'm living it and I'm loving it. So here's my power statement that I had for this morning. I will focus on learning the steps of how to use Ontoport's platform and push myself to get all the pieces of my memberships campaign finished. So here's my to-do list that I had for today. You see that? Got them done. And I also got another little extra bunch of to-dos that I wrote down. Got every one of those done. My most important task for today was to keep working on my Ontoport membership campaign, getting it smaller and smaller and smaller until it's done. My fun task for today was to finish designing my member login page and then get it to Fahad to design and put it up in WordPress for the website pages to show. Okay. My exciting task for today was to finish the 2 order form templates. Because I'm learning how to use Ontoport's platform and each of the steps in how to use and work the settings and how it works, I'm progressing, I'm learning, I'm getting a lot to stick in my brain, and that's helpful. But it has been a much slower process than I had anticipated that it would be. That is on me and not on the chat support people for sure. I'm just learning and a novice, but I'm getting smarter and smarter about it, so that's going to be great in the future. But I hope to have all these all done by the end of the week. The end of this week, and then I'll show you what I've been working on, like I said. Anyway, let's ask my end of the day success routine questions. Get honest with yourself, Marty. What didn't go well today, or what could you have done better today? Did you wake up early and start strong? Check. Did you start your morning with power? Check. Win the morning, win the day. Did you have a productive day throughout the entire day? Yes, check. Did you get the most important things done? Those 3 tasks, we'll talk about that in a minute. Yes. Did you move your goals forward, pieces through the portal of my mind into the world of the physical, manifested by my actions? Did you show up as the person you wanted to be? I showed up as the person that would serve me best today for sure. What about your personal time with Kathleen? Were you present for her and she was present for me? Yes, it was a lovely Tuesday night together. Next are my end of the day success routine accountability questions. Were you honest with yourself about today's task, Marty? In other words, did you keep your promises that you made this morning to yourself? Well, this morning I promised myself that if all I got done was the member login page for Fahad, I'd be happy. I also promised myself that I would finish those 2 membership sign-up payment option pages, the annual payment and the monthly payment on Ontoport. Period. And I did it. I got it done. So I feel great. Good job, Marty. Bam. Done. The next question is, what movies did you watch during your mindfulness time today, Marty? Did you make time for them? And were there any new movies or instant preplay movies that were called up onto the screen of your mind? Well, besides my must-see TV favorite 5 movies every morning, I watched a couple of instant preplay movies in my mind. And it was of me testing these template pages, going to that page where the annual payment is and the monthly payment is and checking on the monthly payment, and it opens up to the form and filling out the form and hitting the bank account information. I got it set for $1 so I can test it, no big deal. And then I hit submit and boom, it goes and says something that comes up, has a thank you page, email, and has the email showing the Stripe payment all done. That's what I was imagining going through my mind that it's working. My next question says, what's the one thing that would make all the difference going forward? What one thing can I do better tomorrow? Even if the day went sideways, get it done, I'd still feel like success. What can I do better? What did I do well? And what am I grateful for? Well, this is what can I do better? I'm thinking about that. Well, the one thing I think that is making all the difference for me is how I'm thinking about the Ontoport process. I am not letting my slow learning process affect me negatively. I'm not beating myself up. I'm learning it, and that's a big deal, and that is a success. There's no question about that. So, bam! My power statement for tomorrow says, I will continue pushing myself to learn to use Ontoport's platform as I work on all the forms that I still have set up and need to be set up. And when I have all of those done, I will reach out and take advantage of my 2 hours of onboarding support to get the product side of these things done. Okay, I just felt that if I had used those 2 hours up front, I would have wanted to have their help in how to design and pick a color and choose and that had eaten up all that time, and then I wouldn't have the help down the road. So that would have ended up taking all the time, and I wouldn't have those hours available to do these harder parts, setting up those 13 products, purchasing pages, and linking up, and all those things that needs to get done. So there you go. I think it's working out just fine. The next question of my end of the day success routine is to ask myself, were there any mistakes or failures that you may have made today, Marty? And can you turn them into a tool of success going forward? Well, today was just more of the same kind of tedious work of learning how to do things and get things connected and looking like I want them to in the Ontoport platform. So there wasn't mistakes, so to speak, that really set me way back or a failure altogether. I'm just learning and going through a learning curve and asking for the help of these chat people every time I get a little stuck. And then, I learned that. And then I remember the next time and then find a new one. Oh, okay, I learned how to do that. So no, I didn't make any mistakes, nor did I have any failures today to speak of. The next question is, what was your biggest success today, Marty? In other words, what did you do well today? Well, my biggest success today was the fact that I did finish the member login page, as well as to the 2 order pages for the Ontoport annual payment options, the monthly and the annual options. And I got them all set up with Stripe and having the thank you page all linked up so that it goes out once prospects fill in the filing of their credit card and all that information, and their member sign up is correct and done. It's done. It's so exciting to have gotten those things done. Anyway, my end of the day success routine question asked me to rate my day's effort today. For a Tuesday, I decided to give today's effort a 9. And that's because I worked at the speed of 9 all day today, that's for sure. But I did slow down a little towards the end of the day because I had some other little tasks that took me out of the office. And so the work for these forms and pages took a little hit of the amount of time I had in the full day. I had to cut back, and so I wasn't able to completely get all that I want to get done on them. So I did give it a 9. Okay, I want to end the day strong. Here's what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for the principle that says it's not the events that shape our lives that determines how we feel and act, but rather it's the way we interpret and evaluate our life's experiences that shape that. Oh my goodness. We've all met people that are either unfortunate or fortunate, successful or unsuccessful, haven't we? We've met both sides of that coin. And I think all of us have asked ourselves what allows successful people to achieve great things while others with similar and even better backgrounds at times disappear off the falls of Niagara. What really makes the difference, the biggest difference in our lives, in who we become, in who we are as people, and where we are going? What is that difference? Well, the meaning we attach to any event, that's what determines the decisions we make, the actions we take, and therefore our ultimate destiny. But the question is, how do we go about evaluating those? What questions should we ask, and do we ask? These principles lead to the next thing that I'm really grateful for. I really am. It's the law of questions or questioning, which simply says evaluations are nothing more or nothing but a series of questions. That leads to the point I left off at last night. Thinking itself is nothing but the process of asking and answering questions. We're going to talk about thinking now. When we think to ourselves, is that true? Or say, that's not true. Or I need to think about that for a minute. Or what we're really saying here is, I need to ask myself some more questions about that. The fact is, most of what we really do all day long, day in and day out, is we ask and answer questions of ourselves all day long. So if we want to change the quality of our lives, if we want to make a change by taking the step of starting our own business, for example, we need to change our habitual questions, that mapping that automatically answers when a question hits our head. These kind of habit-formed questions or questioning in our head direct our focus, which directs our thoughts, which directs how we feel, and how we feel creates actions, and those actions create results. Sounds like the C.T. Farr model, doesn't it? It sure does. Next, I'm grateful for Albert Einstein, who said, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing, Einstein said. He goes on to say, one cannot help but be in awe when we contemplate the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery every day. Never lose a holy curiosity, end quote, by Mr. Einstein. Questions are the primary way that we learn virtually anything and everything. Socrates, of the Socratic ways, what he did, his way of teaching was basically doing nothing but asking questions of his students, directing their focus and getting them to come up with their own answers. There is incredible power in asking questions of ourselves. They shape our thoughts and literally our every response to our experiences. So, our challenge is to find out for ourselves what questions will make the greatest difference in our lives. What are the questions that create our experiences in our day-to-day lives? When we find the answers to those questions, we come to realize that the main difference between the people who seemed to be successful in any area of life and those who weren't was the successful people asked better questions, the hard questions. And as a result, they got better answers. Quality questions creates a quality life. Isn't that fantastic? Well, there you go. It's now my bedtime. I am a little off kilter here. I'm kind of tired. And so once again, I'll be right back here tomorrow night at my laptop, sharing my dreams, sharing my thoughts, living the dream. But until then, I wish you all continued success. Good night.